Hey guys, it's Chels. Welcome to another video. Today I am here with my dad and we're going to kind of talk about a little bit of his experience just growing up. So my dad is going to kind of go over just what it was like growing up and I guess how it changed his life to not necessarily have a dad. Hopefully if any of you guys can relate to this, maybe this is encouraging, maybe this is just something that you can relate to, or just something simply you can watch. But yeah, like this video if you want more. So I know personally from growing up with both my mom and my dad that I'm very fortunate to have had that, because not only did my dad grow up without his father, my mom was raised by a single mom because her dad died when she was 3. So that's one thing that they both have in common, and you guys might not know that about me, is that my parents both were raised by single parents. And I think that speaks volumes of how well they raised us. They didn't have that sort of example completely and fully, you know what I'm saying? So what I would ask you is just kind of how's that changed your life, or like what exactly happened?
My dad was a pilot for TWA and my mom was a flight attendant, so that's how they met and got connected and all that kind of stuff. And actually my dad was married, but not to my mom. He was married at the time that he started dating my mom, and I didn't know about that until after my mom had passed away and I was reading some of the court documents. So anyway, there was a physical relationship there, and that's where I came. And then about 6 months, I was about 6 months old, my dad took off. He left my mother and I basically on the curb to defend for ourselves. We had no place to live. We had to go live with neighbors and borrow money, etc., etc. So it was very difficult for my mother at that time, first being left, but also to take care of me. And so yeah, that was a hard time, I guess, at that time for her. And you know, as time moves on, of course I always ask the question of why me, why did it happen to me? And that's okay. You know, my dad has denied me probably 4 or 5 more times in my lifetime, because we have actually tried to reach out to him. And you know, he had a stroke not too long ago, and I actually wanted to reach out to him and just say I love him and all that, but he denied me again, just stating that I was just a consequence from a physical relationship with my mom, but not realizing what that does to a person throughout the entire life. It has devastated me for my entire life. But it also has given me a goal and some internal guidance, meaning that I've always wanted to do for you guys, for you, your sister, and your brother, that I want to do for you what I have never had for me. You know, I was the kid that used to look out the window and watch the dad and the son play ball, where I didn't get that opportunity ever. Yeah. You know, so maybe that's one of the reasons why I'm so involved with helping you with your video work and helping the other kids do their things that they're interested in. You know, that I guess I want to be that super dad, and the motivation is to be the dad that I never had.
How is being rejected by someone, like how does that affect you?
Well, I mean, it affects, I mean everybody in their lifetime has felt rejection of some kind.
Yeah. But yours has been.
But this is your dad.
Yeah.
That's not supposed to happen. Your dad's is not supposed to push you to the side. It's just you can't fathom the feelings that you have when your dad says all you want to do is have a relationship with me to take my money. That's not it at all. I want you to be my dad. I want, you know, I just want a dad. I want someone to be able to talk to and have reflection with, and see how they grow up and see what I possibly will be like when I get to that age, and try to learn from. But you know, there's another caveat to this equation too, is that with my mom being a flight attendant, at the age of 12, me being at the age of 12, I started staying by myself, because my mom would actually fly and be gone 17, 18 days on average out of the month. That means I had to stay home by myself and feed myself and make myself dinner, get myself up to do school and make myself breakfast and whatever the case may be. Could you imagine being in my mother's shoes, knowing that she had to work and had to provide for a child, but then you had to leave that child at home so you could go provide for the child?
Yeah.
That's unreal. I would never wish that upon anybody. And so at the age of 12, I became self-independent very quickly, and I kind of feel bad for you, Chelsea, because I'm a hard driver. I don't work just 8 hours a day, as you know. I mean, I'm constantly, let's get stuff done. Come on, let's be independent, etc. And I feel bad for you because I have put the independence that I had to achieve very quickly in life. I'm putting that on you. And I put that on you very quickly as well, and I apologize for that, but that is a cause and effect of what happened when my dad left and my mom had to take care of me, right? And she had to leave me alone at the age of 12. So there's consequences on, it's not your fault, but it's a consequence of what happened when my dad left, and the situation, it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've learned from that too, though. I mean... Yeah. In talking about how you found the Lord, or how you accepted Christ.
Yeah, when I came to know the Lord, it's different for everybody. Some people can come to know the Lord in an instant, and it's a process. It's one and done. It's hey, I know the Lord now. For me, it was different. It was a long process, and to me, it's still a long process.
It's always a long process.
It happens over many years, but I was at Cumberland Lake, Kentucky, and I went with
I went there on a mission trip.
Yeah, so I was there with a guy named Willie Berryman, and we were in the Amway business at that time, and that was a neat thing at that time. And he took me, and we all grabbed a rock from the ground, and we were all around a campfire, and basically there was the salvation prayer. And let's put it this way, I was such a baby in it, meaning that when I accepted the Lord, but then I thought Willie Berryman was actually the person that did it, that gave me the saving, not realizing it was really Jesus that was doing the saving and God doing the saving. So I came home to Michelle, my wife, and said, hey, Willie saved me. No, that's not really what happened. Jesus, I believe in you, I accept you into my heart. And so I got that check mark, but then, in some cases you have a public, you speak out publicly, meaning that you probably walk down the aisle and you go meet the pastor in front of everybody, to let him say, hey, we got a new brother or a new sister in Christ.
How, I guess, has that made you view God in a way? Because sometimes, like, people who grow up without a father or a mother, certain figures that typically most people have, how did that impact your relationship with him?
The conversations that I went with my earthly father now had to be adjusted and actually given to God itself. Yeah. So that allowed me, there was times where I hit rock bottom, and the only way to get out of that rock bottom is to look up. And part of that rock bottom is being denied by your earthly father. And, it's just back to why me, Lord, but knowing that he is my true father, now I can express everything that I need to express to him, and, he can answer those prayers that I have, and,
Is there peace that comes along?
There is a peace, but the fact that we're also in a sinful world, I think there will always be some type of hurt from my earthly father, from what he has done. But there is also a sense of peace to know where I'm going, and where I'm leading and walking. And so, yeah, that's peaceful for me. Mm-hmm. And, and I hope that, there's peaceful, I hope people can go down that same path, because it is peaceful. But, and again, it has taken me years to get to that point. And I'm still working on it, because I still feel like I fail. But you're going to fail because of that's where we're at. So.
Yeah. So I guess one last thing I could say is, what's a piece of advice for someone who is being, for someone who went through the same thing that you have, or that what's one thing you wish you would have known?
If your earthly father is still around, every day I forgive him. I'm not mad at him. That's just the choices that he has made. I feel bad for him because he's missed out. He's missed out on you as a grandchild. He's missed out on your brother and your sisters being grandchildren. Mm-hmm. And, I could be there to help him. He had a stroke, and I wanted to be there to support him. I don't want his money. There's no need for that. So I forgive him every day, but there's still consequences of what he's done, and you have to kind of deal with that. I will always love him, and although I haven't seen him in probably 35, 40 years, I've seen some bits and pieces, maybe a couple photos here and there. His side of the family's actually reached out to me and actually have said sorry for him, and I've had great relationships with his sister or my aunt, and
which recently happened.
They reached out to us. They saw us, and they reached out. So there is blessings in there that I actually still get to see parts of that family. Mm-hmm. But I forgive them, and that's what I should do, and that's what I want to do. I will still try to reach out to him until he's gone, and he can continue to deny me over and over again. But he's still my dad, my earthly dad. Mm-hmm. And I just pray for him, and I pray that, one day he'll change and ultimately will know the Lord, and he can be, deal with that when he passes. But, I will always love him. I will always cherish him. He's my dad. I will always reach out to him.
Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
If you guys wanted to leave a comment about maybe us doing another video talking about something related or just anything else, then comment down below, and I will see you guys on my Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, here again next video. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Love ya. Deuces.